A bag of decent potato chips at the grocery store runs you about $4 to $5. That same bag contains roughly 2 potatoes worth of slices, a list of oils you cannot pronounce, and enough salt to preserve a small village. I stopped buying them 6 months ago, not because I have incredible willpower, but because I realized I could make a better version at home from a single potato in less time than it takes to drive to the store and back. That is not a diet tip. That is a math equation so lopsided it made me rethink every packaged snack I had ever purchased. And it is not just about saving money. There is something deeply satisfying about pulling a tray of golden, perfectly crisp chips out of your own oven, knowing every ingredient that went into them. I have spent months testing different methods, different thicknesses and different temperatures, and the version I am about to show you beats anything that ever came out of a crinkly bag. If you want quick potato snacks that actually taste like real food, this is the only recipe you need. Learning how to make potato chips at home is one of those simple recipes that feels like a magic trick the first time you try it. If you are new here, welcome to Thoughtful Explains. This is where we dig into the quiet knowledge that makes life work a little better. Hit subscribe if that sounds like something worth keeping. Let us get into the method. Here is what nobody in the snack industry wants you to understand. The factory-made chip is not a potato. It is a delivery system for salt, fat, and a shelf life measured in months. The potato itself, sliced thin and cooked properly, is naturally sweet, nutty, and crisp on its own. The processing plant takes that simple ingredient and runs it through a bath of industrial oil at high heat, then coats it in a cocktail of flavorings designed to override your brain's ability to stop eating. You are not craving chips. You are craving what they add to chips. And once you understand that, the solution becomes obvious. You stop buying the bag, and you start with the potato. This is the foundation of most potato recipes worth knowing. They begin with a real ingredient, not a processed imitation. A potato pulled from the earth tastes completely different from one that has been sitting in a warehouse for 6 months before being sliced and fried. The freshness alone is a flavor you cannot replicate in a factory. That is why homemade potato chips hit differently the first time you try them. The science of the crunch is moisture reduction. A potato is about 80% water. When you heat it, that water turns to steam and escapes. What is left behind is a lattice of starch that browns and crisps into a delicate, airy structure. The key is getting the water out evenly and quickly enough that the slice crisps before it burns. If the slice is too thick, the outside burns before the inside dries. If the slice is too thin, it disappears into a wisp of carbon. The sweet spot is about 1/16 of an inch, which is roughly the thickness of a dime. A mandolin slicer makes this effortless, but a sharp knife and a steady hand will get you there too. Whatever you use, consistency is everything. Uneven slices cook unevenly, and you end up with a tray that is half burnt and half soggy. This is why homemade potato chips sometimes disappoint, and why getting the thickness right is the single most important step in how to make chips that actually crunch. The starch inside the potato is what gives the chip its structure once the water is gone. Too much starch left on the surface, and the chip turns gummy instead of crisp. That is why the next step is just as important as the slice. Once the slices are cut, they need a bath. Submerge them in a bowl of cold water, and let them sit for at least 20 minutes, or up to an hour if you have the time. This step pulls excess starch from the surface of the potato. Starch is what makes chips gummy instead of crisp. Rinse the slices under fresh water until it runs clear, then drain them and pat them completely dry with a clean towel. Any water left on the surface will steam the chip instead of crisping it, and you will end up with a limp, chewy slice that never reaches its potential. This is the step most people skip, and skipping it is why homemade attempts sometimes fall flat. These easy recipes are only easy if you follow every step, and the soak is the one that makes the difference. The water in the bowl will turn cloudy within minutes, and that cloudiness is the starch leaving the potato. If you skip this, all that starch stays on the surface and caramelizes too quickly in the heat. You end up with a dark, bitter chip instead of a golden one. Now you have a choice, and the choice depends on what you value most. The oven gives you oven-baked potato chips that are golden, evenly crisped, and capable of being made in large batches. Lay the slices in a single layer on a parchment-lined baking sheet, brush them lightly with olive oil, and sprinkle with salt. Bake at 400 degrees for about 15 to 18 minutes, flipping once halfway through. Watch them closely in the final few minutes, because they go from perfect to burnt in the space of a single distracted moment. These potato chips in oven come out with a deep, nutty flavor that no bagged chip can match. I have burned more trays than I care to admit by walking away for what I thought was just a few seconds. Set a timer and stay close. The microwave gives you microwave potato chips that are faster and arguably crispier, but you can only make a small batch at a time. Arrange the slices on a piece of parchment paper, no oil needed, and microwave on high for about 3 to 4 minutes, checking every 30 seconds after the 2-minute mark. They emerge shatteringly crisp and surprisingly light. The microwave method is a revelation for anyone who wants a single serving in under 5 minutes, and it proves that homemade does not have to mean time-consuming. The microwave works by exciting the water molecules inside the potato directly, so the steam escapes faster and the chip crisps from the inside out. What you get at the end of either method is a pile of chips that taste like potato, not like a factory. They are nutty, earthy, and sweet in a way that bagged chips never are. You control the salt. You control the oil. You can add cracked black pepper, smoked paprika, fresh rosemary, or nothing at all. A single potato yields enough chips to fill a small bowl, which is exactly what a snack should be. You are not eating out of a bag designed to make you lose track of how much you have consumed. You are eating something you made with your own hands from a vegetable that cost less than $1. That is the difference between mindless eating and actual satisfaction. These are healthy potato snacks in the truest sense, not because they are low in calories, but because they are real food made from real ingredients with nothing to hide. My kids will stand at the counter and eat them straight off the tray before they even make it to a bowl. That is when you know you have cracked the code. There you have it. A chip that does not come from a factory, a bag, or a drive-thru. It comes from a potato, a little heat, and a few minutes of your time. The snack industry has built an entire economy on the idea that you cannot make this at home, that convenience is worth the cost, that real food is too much work. But you just made it in under 30 minutes with one ingredient and a baking sheet. That is not just a recipe. That is a quiet rebellion against everything the processed food aisle wants you to believe about yourself. If you try this method, tell me how it went in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want more simple recipes and practical knowledge that actually hold up under real life, subscribe to Thoughtful Explains. New videos drop every week to help you understand the world a little better, one quiet truth at a time.